I used to think someone was just driving slowly through our neighborhood late at night, until I realized the same man was following my family across countries. And the worst part? I think it started when I was still in middle school. I'm 22 now, freshly out of college, and I wish I could say this is just paranoia or coincidence. But the more I think about everything that's happened over the years, the more convinced I am that someone or some group has been watching my family for over a decade. It all began in a place where you'd least expect it. We live in a pretty normal suburban neighborhood. Big houses, quiet streets, families with kids. The kind of place where nothing bad is supposed to happen. My bedroom window faces the street, and my dad's home office window, one floor above mine, also faces the street. That detail didn't seem important at the time, but now it feels like the whole story starts right there. The first incident I know of happened when I was really young, still in middle school. I didn't learn about it until years later, but it still sends a chill down my spine. One night, around midnight, my dad was working late in his office. He looked out the window and saw a black Chevy Suburban crawling down our street at maybe 5 miles per hour. It passed once. Then it came back, moving in the opposite direction. Then it just stopped. It parked directly across from our house. My dad watched it for several minutes. No one got out. No doors opened. It just sat there, this big dark shape in the dead of night. He tried to go back to work, but he kept glancing out the window. The car never moved. At around 2 in the morning, he must have drifted off, because he fell asleep at his desk. When he woke up at 5:30, he looked outside, and the car was still there. It didn't leave until right before the sun came up. At the time, they chalked it up to something unexplained. Maybe someone was just sleeping in their car, or maybe it was a thief casing houses for a potential break-in. Creepy, sure, but not proof of anything sinister or personal. So we moved on. Years passed and life went on as normal. Or so we thought. Fast forward to when I was 15. I was a typical teenager, staying up way too late in my room, usually making music on my laptop. My desk is pushed right up against the window, so I have a clear view of the street. It was probably close to midnight when I saw a flicker of light outside. At first, I thought it was just a reflection from my screen, but then I saw it clearly. It was a car, driving slowly, just like the one my dad had seen. But this time, someone inside was shining a powerful flashlight at the houses. Then I saw another car behind it. And another one. It was a small convoy, moving in sync. They weren't just driving. They were systematically scanning the homes with their flashlights, sweeping the beams across windows and doors. My heart started pounding in my chest. I instinctively ducked down just as the beam of light swept across my window. It lit up my ceiling for a split second before moving on to the next house. I stayed hidden under my desk, heart racing, until I was sure they had turned off at the end of the street. The next day, I told my dad what I saw. He didn't dismiss it. He took it seriously. That weekend, he went out and bought a full security system. He installed cameras everywhere, covering the front door, the driveway, the backyard, every possible angle. We all felt a little safer after that, thinking that if anyone came back, we'd have them on camera. But the feeling of being watched never really went away. A few years later, we had some contractors doing work in our backyard. One of them was clearing out some overgrown bushes near the property line when he found something. He called my dad over, and there it was, buried deep in the foliage. A hidden camera. It was tiny, almost impossible to spot unless you were looking for it. It had no memory card, no SIM card, just a dead battery. It was a ghost. We called the police, but without any data on the device, there was nothing they could do. They took a report, but it was clear this was a dead end. We were left with more questions and a growing sense of dread. Who would go to such lengths to plant a camera in our yard? And what were they hoping to see? Then things got even stranger. Our next-door neighbors, a family we'd known for years, suddenly moved out. Not long after, a young couple moved in. They were quiet, kept to themselves. They didn't have any kids. From my window, I would sometimes catch them standing at their upstairs window, the one that overlooked our yard, just looking. It was unsettling. One night, I was walking my dog late when I saw a third person with them. He was a bald, muscular man with thick, dark eyebrows and a face you just don't forget. He was standing with the couple, and he noticed me. Our eyes met for just a moment. The woman immediately yanked the curtains closed. I got a very bad feeling about him. Years passed. Life moved on. I graduated high school, went off to college, and tried to put it all behind me. The weird cars, the hidden camera, the strange neighbors, it all started to feel like a collection of bizarre, disconnected events. Maybe I was just overthinking it. Maybe it was all a series of strange coincidences. I wanted to believe that. Then last week happened. My family decided to take a trip to Paris, a much-needed vacation. One night, we were all out at a bar, having a great time, laughing and enjoying the city. I was just scanning the room, people watching when I saw him. That same man. The bald man from my neighbor's house. In a different country, thousands of miles from home. He had the same intense stare, the same unforgettable face. He was sitting alone at a table, scanning the room, just like he was scanning our street all those years ago. Then his eyes landed on me. We locked eyes across the crowded bar. There was no mistaking it. It was him. A wave of cold fear washed over me. He didn't smile. He didn't look away. He just stared for a second. Then he stood up, turned and walked straight out of the bar without paying his bill. My family didn't notice a thing. I tried to tell myself it was a coincidence that he just looked like the guy from next door, but I knew it was him. A few days later, we were sightseeing near the Eiffel Tower. I was taking pictures, trying to enjoy the moment, when I saw him again. He was a short distance away, pretending to take photos of the scenery with his phone. But his phone wasn't pointed at the tower. It was pointed at us. He was trying to be subtle, but he wasn't. And that's when it all clicked into place. Every single piece falling together in the most horrifying way possible. This wasn't a series of random events. This wasn't paranoia. The slow driving car when I was in middle school. The flashlights scanning my window. The camera in the bushes. The strange neighbors. And now this man following us across continents. This didn't start with random cars casing the neighborhood, and it didn't end with a dead camera in our backyard. It's been going on for over a decade. And whoever this man is, whatever he wants, he's still watching. And I have no idea why. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you've ever experienced something like this, you know how unsettling it can be. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing for more content. Stay safe out there.